If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is June the 9th, 2022, and today the topic is walking in humility. Happy Thursday, everybody, and happy birthday to my dad, Larry O'Neal. Man, I am looking forward to celebrating his birthday this weekend. Supposed to have a good old cookout, you know what I'm saying? So excited about that, the family getting together and whatnot. I don't think he knows, but I'm gonna tell y'all. So don't y'all go tell him. But I am looking to, have a nice collection of my wines at his event. So yeah, y'all can go to miracleofwine.com, podcast people. If you didn't know that your girl had some wines out here. But yeah, I'm gonna bring a nice little collection to do a bit of a tasting and whatnot at his birthday event. Or maybe he could just keep it for himself. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna have a nice little sampler for his event, and I'm looking forward to sharing that as well as just celebrating this awesome gentleman. I'm going to try to give him a call today and let NJ sing happy birthday and all that good stuff. But yeah, the celebrations and festivities is planned for this Saturday. So looking forward to that. Yeah, man. I hope that you guys had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Overall, man, I feel like the past couple of days I pretty much just have been catching up on rest, which is probably a good thing because today is gonna be kind of busy as far as at least according to my schedule, I think I have 2 episodes of GSL to record today, so that's one thing. And then, yeah, like I said, I know I'm gonna call my dad and whatnot, but that's pretty much what's on the plate for today. But when you pair that with being a mom and then me getting ready for both shows, and I gotta dress myself for both shows, I gotta do my makeup for both shows, you know what I mean? Like, it's a whole process when I say, oh, I gotta film an episode of GSL. So yeah, so that's what's going on today. It's at least what's on the calendar to do today. And matter of fact, I need to get with my acting student because he has not confirmed for this week. So I'm gonna have to get with him and figure out when we doing that and if he's trying to do that today or not. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on. That's what's going on in my world, and everything. But I guess we can go ahead and get into this conversation about walking in humility. So I was a little bit distracted when it came to the prayer meditation this morning. A lot of little things was on my mind. But eventually the phrase putting on airs. The phrase putting on airs came into my heart and mind this morning. And, I know I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she was kind of expressing some concern about, I guess, moving here to Atlanta and things like that. And I guess she was saying that, it seems that the people put on airs here. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I can see that, a lot of people, I guess, puff themselves up or make it seem as if they're more than they are and whatnot. But I mean, I've noticed for me, I feel like a lot of people just kind of keep to themselves. I mean, I don't think this is a great thing at all, but I barely know my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I know anybody's name that lives around us. We all just got to keep to ourselves. My husband might know a couple of their names and stuff, but I mean, yeah. So, and we've been living here for about what, 2 or 3 years now, or at least 4, like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I'm just, but anyway, I say all that to say, like, maybe that was partially something that came into my heart and mind, or maybe one of the reasons why that phrase came into my heart and mind. And it was interesting because as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about just a combination of things. There's just so many different things I thought about that stemmed from that thought of putting on airs. Because you know, I know as an actor or just in general, I know people have heard the phrase like faking it till you make it, right? Fake it till you make it. And and that made me ultimately think about faith and everything like that. And so then I started to wonder, well, is it putting on airs or is it having confidence? Is it putting on airs or is it having faith? Or is it putting on airs? How are we looking at certain things? Like, because someone could just be exuding confidence in themselves and God or whatever the case is, and people could see that as putting on airs. So yeah, I mean, I guess I looked up verses centered around all of those different things this morning, and ultimately, um, I guess I just was reminded overall with the verses that I feel led to share this morning is that this word humbleness, this word humility. Um, at the end of the day, not puffing yourself up above anyone else or anything like that. There's beauty in humility, and I think that's what most so stuck out to me this morning after reflecting on this whole subject of putting on airs. So speaking of putting on airs, this isn't necessarily a definition, but it's a description of the phrase, and it says meant to describe a person who acts superior or one who behaves as if they are more important than others. So, is that you today? Or have you witnessed this? I think we all have probably seen or maybe done this at some point in our lives, feel as if we are superior or whatnot. Now, again, maybe we are attempting to exude confidence, or maybe we're don't. I don't know if everybody means to do it in that type of way, right? That negative type of way, um, but yeah. I think everybody has either encountered it or experienced it or either, done it, at some point in their lives. So, what does the Bible have to say? Well, 1 Peter 5:5 says, likewise, you who are younger, be subject to the elders. Clothe yourselves, all of you, with humility toward one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So yeah, I was kind of reminded of I was looking at a video of Pastor David Lynn, and he was kind of talking about what was he talking about? Oh, someone was bringing up the whole thing about women being submissive to their husbands and everything, like their wives being submissive to their husbands, X, Y, and Z. And I guess I was kind of reminded of that this morning as I read that verse. Now in the verse it's talking about being subject to your elders and things, but we're all subject to somebody at some point, right? So I don't necessarily see anything wrong with a wife submitting to her husband, uh, as long as her husband's being led by God, right? And everything like that. I know that's a whole subject. I know it's like a debate. People feel like women's rights are being impeded on and all that because of this word submission. But I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, I think that husband and wives, they submit to each other. I think that wives can communicate with her husband and vice versa. And I guess it's just how you're doing this marriage thing, right? It's funny, my mom has been talking about a minister, I can't remember his name right now, but she was talking to me the other day about a message she preached about having being a slave with a little bit of power, and I guess using that little bit of power that you have to kind of lord over someone or whatnot. I know that's a whole nother subject and everything, but I'm just telling y'all that that's kind of what came into my heart and mind as I was thinking about this idea of, humility and like that verse says, being subject to the elders. Because even the other day, when I did the speaking engagement that I was telling you all about, I know at some point the lady that was running it, she just was like, Miracle, can you talk to them about, you know, talking to their parents and things like that about certain issue. And because maybe she mentioned that perhaps that they might right now, maybe they don't understand that their parents are telling them right from wrong, things like that. I can't remember exactly how she set up the question, but it was something along those lines. And so I just pretty much share with them that at the end of the day, like, yeah, they might feel a certain way about certain rules or certain things that their parents have established, but at the end of the day, as they get older, they're going to understand it better and they're going to appreciate it, especially if they have parents that actually do care and actually do um, want the best for them and everything like that. Because I think as you get older, you'll realize that there's people that don't have parents like that. They don't have parents that care and parents that, you know, are trying to instill something good into them and things like that. And so, yeah, so I mean, I had that conversation with them, like, while you are a child, yes, you need to humble yourself to your parent. At the end of the day, now when you get 18 and grown and all that stuff, then I mean maybe that's another thing. But again, you still respect them. You know what I'm saying? You can still, um, but I mean like the, I mean I know it's a phrase growing up or whatever, but my house, my rules. Like I mean, even with me and my son, I have to let him know that at the end of the day, the things that I'm trying to share and teach and let him know, um, aren't to hurt him. It's to help him. It's to keep him safe. And right now he doesn't understand that because he's 3 years old. But at some point he is going to understand and appreciate that mommy didn't let me crawl off the bed, or that mommy didn't let me just eat candy all day, or that mommy, you know what I mean? Like he's going to appreciate those things when he's older. But you got to get there. And so yes, stay humble. You know what I mean? Humble yourself um, to those in authority in that aspect. But anywho, let's keep going with this conversation, y'all. Romans 12 and 3. Romans 12 and 3, it says, For by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to. Think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that stands out to me the most in that verse is the part that says not to think of yourself more highly than you ought to. We do that, right? We do that as groups. We do that as individuals. We want to think that we are above someone else. And at the end of the day, like, why can't we start to just embrace this idea that, hey, man, we're all on an equal playing field. We're all the same. We're all humans, right? And then from there, you know, then that separation of good and evil, I talk about that all the time. Yeah, there's a difference between humans that do good and humans that do evil. But outside of that, like every other difference and every other thing that we try to make more than someone else is, I guess what they call like that slippery slope, or that thing that just kind of gets in the way of progress. It gets in the way of, the love that we're supposed to have and exude um, to our neighbors, to God and our neighbors. So just something to think about, there. I have one more verse. Yes, one more verse to share. And it's Philippians 2 and 3. It says, Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. So yeah, man, at the end of the day, we need to just be walking in humility. Like this thing says here, count others more significant than yourselves. How can you help someone? How can you be there for someone? How can you lift someone else up? And in the process, you'll see that you are being lifted up. Um, I, how can I say? I don't know if it's just the way I was raised or what it is, but there was always something instilled in me to know, like at the end of the day, if I have to puff myself up, right? If I have to talk about my, how can I say it, Lord? Like if anyone has to say that they are this or that, then they're probably not. That's what it is. Like it means more when someone else says that you are this or that. Whether that be wise or great or nice or anything, right? If I'm going around saying, I'm nice, I'm nice, I'm nice, then I'm probably not. you know, but if someone else tells you about me and they say that I'm nice, then that might be more accurate, you know. So I think we all, yeah, according to this, man, we should just all walk in humility, you know, understanding that, you know, uh, that other people are important too. You know, we don't have to puff ourselves up. Let someone else puff you up, you know. Let God exalt you, right? Um, and that's the juice. That is the juice this morning. The Bible verse of today is 2 Timothy and 3. And it's 16 through 17. It says, all scripture is given by the inspiration of God and profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Before I let you guys go on the podcast, let me remind you that today is Thursday, and I mean that tomorrow is Friday. And we have a new episode of God, Sex, and Love that will be going live at 7 p.m. It is a chat with Miss Xavier Jones. And so, yeah, be on the lookout for that again at 7 p.m. 7 p.m., y'all, not a.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow on GodSexAndLove.com, God, Sex, and Love YouTube, God, Sex, and Love Facebook, all of those things. But all right, y'all, until tomorrow, if the Lord's will, I will talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.